I take a break from this game for 3 weeks, and mutants are dead. Whatever, dude. This is from the OCPF Discord server, if you're wondering. This guy is a commander, so, this is canon in case you were wondering. Anyway, I'm not gonna waste your time. Let's get right into the actual, events. Operation Sunrise, the Craterview Siege. 17th Forces successfully take back Craterview and kill Archie. Just as the sun started to set across the valley, a platoon-sized force composed of both 17th and SLF were moving out of Fort Viridian. Their goal was simple. It was to destroy the biomass that sat atop Craterview. The combined forces moved out towards the dunes, surrounding the plague city, and waited for the signal to open fire. Nothing but radio chatter occurred for some time as the mortar team got into place. Suddenly, the order was given to open fire. Suppressive fire from the main force occurred, and mutants rushed to defend their town. As the two sides traded, a smaller task force composed of both former 17th agents and SLF's own TF-56 pushed up into the town via the smaller Mesa's entry. Fighting continued for some time until a warrant officer from the SLF had radioed in the mortar team. Within a few seconds, whistling was heard in the air, and then an explosion, followed by flames coming from the biomass tree. A 81mm white phosphorus shell had hit and lit the biomass on fire. Mutants scurried out of the biomass frantically as it started to burn. Fighting continued longer into the night as the smaller element pushed into the town as the mutants watched their tree burn. The main element was continuing to be suppressed by mutants and snipers. However, they had achieved a foothold on the mesa. The smaller task force had begun to climb their way up in the mayor's tower from below via the biomass's tendril. After some time, they were able to get into the town, where they begun to take fire, with some suicide bombers being thrown their way. As their assault was stopped, the same warrant officer called for a white phosphorus shell to be launched out of the tree again. Within a few seconds, another shell hit the tree, utterly decimating it and causing it to burn down completely over the next hour or so. The entire force of 17th and SLF now took advantage of the mutants' confusion and panic while they made a second push into the town. After a considerable amount of troops had already lost their lives due to suicide bombers, it was clear that this fight would not get easier for the SLF. However, with Archie still alive, both Task Force 56 and the main element moved into the town, clearing out any mutants still inside. After a considerable amount of time, almost all of its resistance was crushed. It was now just a handful of mutants being held up along with Archie. Little did they know the humans already knew their exact position. The two military groups reformed and then took fire on the building they were hiding in hopes to hit something or draw them out. Archie suddenly bursted out of the building towards the biomass, where soldiers began to open fire.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
In return, Archie opened shots with his M60, and many troops were either injured or killed as they tried to bring the piece down. However, it worked. Archie died. After it was clear that Archie was dead, some brave souls went up to the suit and were hit with LMG fire from nearby mutants. Brother, listen here. You may go to Jane. After some time of fighting, after Archie was dead, it was clear that the town was won by the 17th and SLF. Archie was dead, the tree was burnt to a crisp, and the town was clear of mutants. The 17th flag that came off of Sergeant First Class's, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name, was raised up high in the flagpole, as once again humans ruled over the scrap town. Both the 17th and SLF had sustained heavy casualties that day. But as the sun began to rise, the SLF soldiers were in protective gear and began to rid the town of biomass and radiation. Meanwhile, med evacuations took place. The 17th had lost good soldiers that day in the liberation of the town, and they were promptly buried outside of Goldfield. The future of the town is unsure, but what is assured is that the mutants were dealt a very heavy blow in which they may never be able to return from. The 17th were victorious. Woo! There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mutants are pretty much dead in Mirage. Biomass, there's no more biomass in the area, because they also, exploded the Rad C biomass. So mutants in general are dead. Unless you have leechers, sapiens, uh, dead mutant corpses, which, why would you have that? You're a mutant. Or, ERP someone, there's no way to infect. And, the last thing that I mentioned, ERP, you can get banned for, as mentioned in the ATF rule guide. So, yeah, mutant numbers are probably going to start declining relatively soon. At least ICELY. OCELY, there will probably be still plenty more mutants. But, yeah, mutants are pretty much dead for now. With that, that pretty much concludes the story of ATF-7. ATF-7 has really just been the mutant game. It's been focusing on mutants more than anything. 2018 for Christmas we had the Biomass event, 2019 we had the Biomass event, and yeah, this year we probably won't have a Biomass event considering the Biomass is dead, but it does grow in the winter, so I don't know, maybe we'll see Biomass 3 later this year. I don't know, I'm excited. But with that being said, that's my opinion on it. That's what happened. So yeah. If you did enjoy, leave a like, comment down below, share with friends. Don't do any of that if you don't want to. Feel free to dislike, leave me some criticisms. But yeah, I'm gonna go now. So see ya.
Beep boop 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 bop. Beep boop 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 bop. Boop boop bop. Beep beep.